Our top story here at 5:30 this afternoon.
We will bring it to you just as soon as it does happen.
Don't touch that dial. It's going to be some night. From all the people at KNBC News.
I think we probably have, arguably, the two best players in the NBA.
You think of one of the best to ever do it in any sport for this generation or many others, the one word Kobe will come up for sure.
He was more than a symbol. He was more than a citizen. He really was a part of the soul of the city.
So it's a Sunday morning. It was kind of an eerie feeling. And, you know, people had been out, maybe having breakfast or coffee, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. And we're actually thinking about going out to brunch. All of a sudden, people had heard the sound of the chopper. I knew something sounded wrong and couldn't figure out what it was. And then heard an explosion. I got a call from a friend of mine, Nick Hamilton. And Nick does a lot of stuff around town. He's a terrific reporter, worked very hard. And he says, did you hear about Kobe? It's 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I said, what about Kobe? Because you don't know. I went, no, I'm just sitting here. And you know how you get that eerie feeling? Experience that? The hair on your arm raises. Kind of get chills. He goes, look at TMZ. I just held up the phone. I showed it to the people that were in the room with me, my family. No one could speak.
We're coming on the air with breaking news, very sad news to tell the sports world. The LA Times is reporting that retired Los Angeles Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash.
I didn't believe it. What? No.
You can see the picture there. It burst into flames on impact, starting a nearby brush fire.
I immediately called our assignment desk here at Channel 4. And all I said was, is it true? Do we have it confirmed? He goes, we're working on it. I got up off the couch. I went upstairs. I took a shower. I put on a suit. And I drove right into the station. And I walked in. And everybody was just standing around. And they told me, it's confirmed.
The helicopter slammed into the hillside at Las Virgenes Road and Willow Glen Street. Kobe reportedly on board at the time. No survivors.
And Renee Washington, who was our news director, said, you need to get ready to go on. So I sat down in front of the newsroom camera. Los Angeles lost an incredible basketball player. I was on for about 6 hours, talking about the information we knew. We know that Kobe Bryant lost his life, his daughter Gianna, trying to dispel what had been reported but not confirmed. We don't know who else was on the chopper yet, talking about his life. The moments he made us smile, he brought us to the edge of our seat, talking about how he was received in Los Angeles. How many players in Los Angeles have been on a team for 20 years? 20 years.
One hometown.
One hometown. And as the story unfolded, we learned there were a number of people in the chopper. We now know there were 9 people on the chopper, not 5. I tried to be very cognizant of pointing out there were other people on that flight as well, all suffering the same pain. A wife lost a husband, daughters lost a father, parents lost a son, and then I thought about what it was like for his wife, Vanessa. You don't ever want to lose your spouse, ever. It's your life partner. And I said, you know, look at Vanessa Bryant. She lost her husband. She lost a daughter. As someone who has kids, you can't lose your kids. You just can't. A mother can never lose their kids. A mother can never bury a child. You can't. I just think it's important to keep this in perspective as we continue following the story and reporting details. Yes, he was a great basketball player, but he was a father. He was a husband. He was a friend to many people. I knew Kobe. And I was just trying to point out, just because we knew Kobe didn't mean that everybody wasn't suffering as much.
Everybody here has so much pain.
Los Angeles had lost
I just never saw this coming.
an icon.
It's difficult to imagine LA without Kobe. He was such an integral part of not only how we saw ourselves, but how the world saw us.
And I think everybody in their own way had lost someone special.
Kobe! Kobe!
Special in regards to what he meant to them.
Well, you know, I probably would have never been a basketball fan if it wasn't for Kobe.
You know, we live in a world of social media and people are hardened and they'll say certain things and they'll hide behind their keyboard. When something like this happens, you can put all that away.
You know, as a true Lakers fan, as a Los Angeles native, you know, we'll never be the same.
When we lose something that means that much to us, we do grieve, we do mourn, we are real, we are human.
You know, sometimes things don't make sense.
You know, we all look for a connection. We want to connect with each other.
It's a big tragedy because he was more than just a basketball player.
It hurt, man. It's like, you know, losing a friend, a family member.
And oftentimes, tragedies bring people together.
Keep going, and I live with that every day, that Mamba mentality, you know what I mean? I live with it every day.
We grieve or we mourn.
It's just devastating for all of us. Such a legend.
Something or someone that we've lost.
Trying to pay some respect and, you know, hang out with everybody.
And I was just trying to grieve with everyone.
He broke a lot of records. He inspired a lot of people to play basketball, be great athletes. So it's still unreal today. Like, I can't believe it happened.
This wasn't about sitting there as a news anchor reporting news. You kind of take ownership of him.
Sure.
I mean, he was a kid when he got here. This is personal. It was personal to all of us. You've seen him grow. And that's another reason why this hurts so much. When something like this happens, from a production standpoint, what's the first thing you do?
We're getting some more reaction from Laker great Magic Johnson, who tweeted out, "My friend, a legend, husband, father, son, brother, Oscar winner."
We have to find people to continue the story. So I've known Jerry West forever. I consider him a friend. And Jerry West was the person that brought Kobe to Los Angeles. He knew Kobe as well, if not better than anyone. He considered Kobe a son and basically thrust him into the spotlight. So we called Jerry. He was heartbroken. He was devastated. Jerry, are you there? And if you are, thank you for coming on.
Well, I am, Fred, yes. Thanks for having me. He was like a son for me, to be honest with you. And I just, I don't know. I just, frankly, haven't been able to really collect my thoughts, to be honest with you. It's been not a good day.
He was grieving while he was on the air.
He had something special, okay, and it's not, anyone could have seen it.
He talked about him. Talked about the kid he was, the man he grew into.
He was making a difference.
He talked about sacrifices he made.
He wanted to win at all costs.
Some of the problems he had, some of the things that he lived through, but that was hard for Jerry.
This is not going to go away from me, I know that.
And I'm always appreciative and thankful at a moment when he was personally grieving that he would come on and join us.
And his legacy will live forever.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to our post-game report here at Staples.
The Lakers had won the championship.
You see the scene inside, you see the scene outside. To the best of our knowledge, there have been 2 vehicles set on fire at this point.
And that's when NBC had the NBA.
It's awesome, baby. Schooling me. We are live right now. Congratulations to both of you.
I said, Kobe, congratulations. He goes,
Get the LA ring on! Get the party on! I feel cold. It feels beautiful, man.
he couldn't even talk. He just nodded his head. I'm blessed because I saw most of Kobe's moments. How have you grown from a boy to a man in front of the eyes of the people of Los Angeles and now the world? And what have you learned on this journey?
Wow. Well, you know, it was difficult. Obviously, I think I've been very fortunate to be able to
be in one city, for so long.
I always wanted to get into a situation where we could dig deeper, get inside someone, talk with them, find out who they were. And Kobe was always very gracious, at least with me. Now, this may seem like a revelation, but Kobe actually told us that he loved LA 3 weeks ago. Now you've had time to reflect. The team obviously is a whole lot better than it was last year. Do you want to remain in LA? Do you want to stay here and play?
Yeah, I enjoy playing with my guys. Now I play on 3 championship teams, and we still didn't have this kind of cohesion or chemistry or camaraderie or brotherhood. I mean, this is special, and it'll be very, very difficult to walk away from. I enjoy playing with my guys, and I want to continue to do that.
I saw him score 81. I remember that night, and maybe it's cliched, maybe it's too easy, but honestly, for me, it was the moment. His final game when he scored 60 points. And when you work in the media, you can't yell, you can't cheer. You cover the game, right? You're a reporter. I know exactly where I was sitting. And every time he touched the ball, I would just scream, "Shoot it!" From wherever he was, no matter who was on him, just shoot it. And Byron Scott, who was coaching Kobe at that time, so they called a timeout late in the game. The game was closed, too, by the way. Kobe came out during the timeout. He was exhausted. Literally, his tongue was hanging out. And he could barely breathe. I mean, he was spent. I think Byron said to him, "You got another 3 minutes? You got another 3. And he just went back out there and continued. And he got 60 points. And he was exhausted. And he should be. That's too much to ask of anyone at his age, doing what he did. This guy went out and scored 60 points. 60! He didn't want the generic, because he didn't ever want that. He wanted to earn every single thing he ever had. You know, I think few times in life do people have an opportunity to witness greatness.
Kobe was my dear friend. He was like a little brother.
And see it from its infancy to its maturity. To see the steps, to see the struggles, to see the conquests, to see the flaws, and to see the end product.
Never ever could I have imagined that I'd be here today speaking at this memorial. And it pains me to my core.
We've had and been blessed in Los Angeles over the years to have incredible athletes, stars. These people were stars in a city of stars. People come to Los Angeles to make a living with their looks and their voice.
He was my everything.
Become stars in movies, stars in TV, stars in the music industry. It's really something when you live in a place and get to watch somebody from the beginning to the end become the biggest star of all, and that was Kobe Bryant.
Babe, you take care of our Gigi. And I got Nani, Bibi, and Coco. We're still the best team.